David here with S&S Fishing. Today we're looking at a DIY power box. So I've been looking around for a power box so that I could take with me on my kayak or the boat when I'm out on the boat, or even the pier. And this is primarily going to be just to have it as a backup charger for my cell phone and to power my green blob for when I'm night fishing. And I found a lot of good products, a lot of accessories on these power boxes. Primarily, all I really need is a USB port and a DC port. And so we did find that there was a lot of good products, a lot of good reviews. One of the ones that stood out to me was Dakota Lithium. Dakota Lithium has a 10 amp 12 volt, and it's got the basics, what I need, the USB, the DC outlet. And so the only thing that kept me from getting one of those was the price point. Really, it sells at $229, and I kind of felt like I could maybe build my own on a budget. And so this is my first attempt right here. And so basically what I did was I ordered a Sheffeild feild box. And this Sheffeild feild box is about $8, $8 or $9. Got this on Amazon. And then I ordered a set of outlets that came with these 3 pieces. Okay, so you have your 2 USBs here. You have your DC port right here, which is like your car charger port. And you have your switch. And this one actually reads out the voltage. When you power it on, it'll read out the voltage and tell you what voltage is coming through this outlet. Okay, and that same voltage is running through both of these. Okay, so on the inside, it's actually pretty big, and right now I only have a 7 amp battery in here, but I've ordered a 10 amp, and you can go up. You know, it's got some room up here, and it's got room across, so you can actually go up to a 23 amp if you like. So there's quite a few options you could use for the battery. Now I got some extras in here. This is where I store my charger, and I store an extra Duracell light, and all of this is water resistant, and so it's a good place to kind of just store this stuff so it doesn't get lost. And I really didn't care about the looks. I kind of sealed this right here, just kind of a little bit sloppy there, but it was more about functionality, not looks on this one. So this is the power box I'm going to go ahead and do a step-by-step on, and we'll see how you guys like it. Alright guys, so what you're going to need first up is your Sheffeild feild box. Okay, this is going to run about $8-9, round up to 10 there. We have a set of outlets. These you can purchase on Amazon. There's all different types of these setups. I like this one because it's already all pre-wired and I don't have to do anything except put the attachment clips here for the terminals, which are these right here. You're gonna have to get a box of these. These are about $3 or $4. The outlets are about $20. You need a 12 volt battery. Like I said, this one is a 7 amp 12 volt. I took this out and we ran it for about 3-4 hours on the green blob, and I had no problems. Didn't run out of battery, didn't run out of charged my phone with it, so it lasts a pretty good while. But like I said, you can always upgrade that from the 7 to the 10 or even the 23 because you got lots of room in this box. Also, if you don't have a charger for this battery, you can purchase one, a simple one like this, where you have the options of 6 volt, 12 volt. I think this was about $6 on Amazon. I upgraded since then from this charger to one that actually tells me when it's ready. I'll show you that in a bit. And then you need some waterproof sealant. Okay, altogether, this little package here is under $65. Which is a pretty good deal compared to some of the off-the-shelf products that you can get online. For today's tools, I actually purchased this right here. It is going to help me cut my my holes. I purchased this just for this build, but I didn't have that when I did the first build. I used actually this drill bit here, and then I just kind of cut around the edges and I made the openings a little wider. It was pretty messy, but like I said, it was for functionality more than looks, so I didn't really care. But today's I'm going to try this out and see if it comes out a little neater. And then of course you need a drill. Okay, and those are pretty much the only tools you're going to need for today. All right, let's get started. So the first step is you're going to pull these outlets off of the plate. So basically you're going to unpin these on the bottom. And these are held in place by this little locking mechanism here, this little nut. And so you're going to take that all the way off, and this is just going to slide right out. Okay. On this Sheffeild box, there's not enough room for the entire plate, so I just pulled these individually, and we're going to drill the hole around this width on the box. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for all these pieces. We're just going to pull the outlet out, pop that out, and get set up for the drilling. All right, so this is the last piece. I'm just going to thread all of that out. So these pieces I'm not going to use. You have your 12 volt, you have your USB, and then you have your power switch. So we're ready to go. Now we're going to go ahead and drill our ports on the power box. Okay, so I did forget one thing. One of the ports, the power port, is a little rectangle. So in order to do that, I'm going to start off my port with a hole. I'm just going to drill a hole right through there, and then I'm just going to take a knife and I'm going to kind of just cut out a little rough rectangular section there. Okay, so we got our rectangular port in there for our power switch. I've already dropped this in and it does fit. It doesn't look pretty, but that's the best job I could do with the little Billy Bob knife that I had. But it's not going to matter because this fits in just fine. And then we're also going to go ahead and seal that on the back end, so it's not going to have any problems. Next up, we're going to go ahead and drill our ports for our USB and our 12 volt. Okay, so I'm going to do it the same way I had these others set up, which is with the 12 volt in the center and then the USBs on the edge. USB is the one that's going to tell you what your voltage is. And so I'm just going to eyeball it, and we're going to center these right here in the middle of this box. Okay. All right, so we got all three ports done. We got our outlet ports and our power port. And so now we're gonna go ahead and run the line in. Make sure none of those little clips come off. We don't want to add work for ourselves. And we're going to drop that right in. Okay. And next we have our 12 volt. These fit nice and snug, and the lip sits over the hole, so it's going to work great for our waterproofing. Now I decided I'm going to go ahead and keep these caps, okay, and they actually work out pretty good here with this frame on the bottom. It kind of adds like another little level of security there, so I'm going to go ahead and use them on this box. I didn't use them on the previous box. I just sealed it, which should be just fine, but I went ahead and kept it for these. So I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Make sure that fits nice and snug. And now I'm going to go ahead and set these up. Black goes on negative, and then you got your red sitting on the positive. Clips, everything's clipped on. Now these two longer ones, I went ahead and attached these little ends on them. Okay, and you can buy these fasteners at Lowe's or even your auto parts store, and they have a little metal tube. You just run the wire inside, and then if you have a crimper, just kind of pinch that. I use pliers. Pliers work just fine, so you just stick the little end of your wire in there and crimp with your crimpers or your pliers. And let's go ahead and plug in. We're going to plug in, and I'll seal afterwards. I don't want to seal if it's not working, so I just want to make sure that everything's working. There we go. And I like to sit the battery in this way so that the wiring is closer to the power end. And that's it. Okay, so again, this box is gonna be water resistant and not waterproof, but water resistant. So it's gonna help you if you're out on the water from getting your battery wet and all your wiring wet. Let's see if this works. There we go. And right now it's reading that we're getting 12.8 volts running to these outlets. We're gonna go ahead and test this out. I'm going to take my phone. Let's make sure that we're actually getting some juice out of here. So take my phone, plug it in, and good. So we're charging, and I actually need to charge my little GoPro battery, so let's go ahead and do that too. I'll use this other port to charge my GoPro battery, and we should get some lights up front if it's charging, and we're getting the lights. That blue light means it's charging. So we're charging the phone, we are charging the GoPro, and let's see if we can get some power to that one here. I'm going to go ahead and take my green blob. So my green blob has my DC plug, and there is my green blob. So I am still charging my phone, still charging my GoPro. I've got power going to all my products here. We're good to go. So final steps, I'm going to go ahead and seal this. Everything seems to be working just fine. So let's unplug everything. I'll cover those up. And we're going to go ahead and seal. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. That wraps up the power box. I went ahead and finished the ceiling there. We're gonna let that dry. I went a little heavy on the ceiling, but that's never gonna hurt. Okay, so overall, it's a pretty simple DIY. Again, this box, the way I explained it at the beginning with the simple charger, which is about $6, your 12 volt 7 amp, and your Sheffeild box, your wiring, all that's going to run you about $60 to $65. Okay, after I built mine, I realized I wanted something a little bit better than this $6 charger. Okay, one thing really that I wanted was I wanted to have a charger that actually told me when it was ready and kind of prevented any overheating. So I went ahead and got this Noco Genius, and this Noco Genius does a pretty good job of charging. It charges your lead acid batteries that are rechargeable, like this one that I used here, lithium batteries, gel batteries. It does it all, and it's a lot safer running this right here. You don't have to watch it. Once you're done charging, this thing changes its color and it stops charging the battery, so you don't have any type of overheating going on. This Noco Genius was $20 versus your $6 version here, but either one does the job. So I upgraded to the Noco, so that adds about 15 bucks to this. And then I store a little Duracell light in there. This light, we got them at Costco. There was 3 for $16, so not a bad deal. Okay, so that adds another, for one, probably about $7 there. So you're talking about another maybe $22, $23 for the upgraded version with these things over here on this power box. The sticker from Duracell, I'll put that link in the description. I got some new gear from Duracell yesterday. Nice long sleeve shirt for when I'm going out and fishing. So I'll link up all this gear on the description. Most of it you can get on Amazon, and that's pretty much it. I'll be doing a review on the green blob that I showed you guys today for my next video. If you guys have any comments, any questions, anything you guys would like to see me do a video on, put something in the comment section. And as always, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.